of fools on the hill. You must let my people go, so we can rule from Cape to Cairo. You must free my people's sons, so we can rule our purpose land. I wanna know who owns the land. Who wanna know who owns the land? Okay, now listen carefully. Chinese are ruling the Chinese land. Japan is ruled by Japanese. England is governed by Englishmen. America is governed by Americans. So, Africa must be ruled by Africans. I wanna know who owns the land. We must rule from Cape to Cairo. We must rule our purpose land. I say, we want to know who owns the land. I want to know who owns the land. Aslan, hey, Papa Aslan, Papa Aslan, Papa Aslan. It must be true. Angola wants to know who owns the land. Mozambique want to know who owns the north. Namibia wants to know who owns the land. I said, Soweto wants to know who owns the land. Zimbabwe wants to know who owns the land. African freedom fighters want to know who owns the land. Papa Slam. Now listen to the history. We've been here since creation. We've been here since creation. What a wonder. Since the time of sun and sun. Since the time of moon and stars. Since the time of air and seas. Since the time of men and things. We must run from Cape to Cairo. Now we are the crossroads. I'm not the more than the land. I'm not the more than the land. Opali mumeya zera baba. Opali mujasu yaraka. Opali mazizanya vetonye.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Welcome to ABC Amber TV live, coming to you from the great state of Texas. And I am very, very excited to be back here today. I like to say, in the words of Sonny Okosun, we keep on asking who owns the land. Of course, we know who owns the land. But it's a rhetorical question that we want French Cameroon to answer. Who owns the land? That is the reason, ladies and gentlemen, we are in this fight. We are in this war. We want to know whether the land and the territory and the people belong to themselves or to French Cameroon. And we will keep on asking that question until today we get to Buea. Again, thanks for tuning in today. Welcome Ground Zero, welcome diaspora. It's a pleasure to be back here today to bring you update on the state of our revolution. It's always a privilege to come to you, and I believe that today is just one of them. As usual, I expect you to go ahead and quickly hit your share button so that I can start this presentation proper. I am going to do a few things today. I will bring you some updates. I will do the presentation proper, and then I shall open the phone lines to take questions on this particular subject. I'm talking about the Bui and the assassination of Field Marshal Chacha of Bui warriors. So I shall do a little presentation on that, and then I shall open the phone lines to take your questions. But before I get there, please go ahead and of course, as usual, hit your share button. Let's get this platform, as usual, populated within the next 3 minutes. My presentation is going to be short. It's not a long one. And so I will most of the time be taking your questions, and I want every one of you out there, homeland, ground zero, or diaspora, if you have a question about this Bui incident and the assassination of General Chacha yesterday in Bui, I will be very, very glad to take your questions. And I will open the phone lines, and I would like to take again as many questions as I can. So please, let's populate this platform. Go ahead and invite the people. Now, while you do that, I like to take some updates here and some announcements here. Ladies and gentlemen, there is a press statement. This is a disclaimer. There is a press statement circulating out there in the social media, supposedly coming from the interim government, signed by the president, Dr. Samuel A. Komesako. The press release essentially states that Dr. Sako is appreciating and supporting Congress Lady Karen Bass for recommending a federation for Ambazonia. Ladies and gentlemen, nothing could be farther from the truth. Let me make this very, very clear, and I'd like you to put it up there on your pages. That press statement appreciating Karen Bass for recommending a federation for Ambazonia is false, it is fake, it is not from Dr. Samuel Komesako. It is the work of our detractors out there. Of course, you should never have any doubt, that this interim government stands for anything but an independent Southern Cameroon. And so when you find a document like that, just know that it is fake. It is coming from our detractors. I understand that document is coming from one. It was crafted by one fake doctor, irrelevant doctor out there in the state of Maryland. So please, you will find that document out there signed by Dr. Sako. It's easy to make fake documents and insert somebody's signature on it. Please dismiss it, and pass this news around in the voicemail, in the post on your Facebook page. Let the rest of Ambazonia know that is not coming from Dr. Sako. Of course, Dr. Sako did send a letter to Congresswoman Karen Bass, but that letter sent out was merely appreciating Bass for asking Cameroon to go to follow the Swiss initiative. That is what it was all about. It is not a lengthy narration that you find out there. So please disregard that fake statement. It is not coming from your interim government. Please go ahead and hit your share button. Now, I also want to dismiss a storyline that was put out there after the Bui incident. All of you, I'm sure you read that. A certain activist out there put out the narrative that the National Security Council of the interim government held a meeting after the incident in Bui, in which Chris Ano, of course, and the president, Dr. Sako, was heard yelling at the top of their voice saying, "Kill them, kill them, kill them." That was said to be coming from yours truly and Dr. Sako, the president. Ladies and gentlemen, that meeting never took place. Nothing like that happened. Consider that also the work of frustrated people, a manifest of their frustration. I want you to know that since the Bui incident, yours truly have not been in any national security meeting. So nothing like kill them, that never happened. That is very, very important, because when they are not challenged, when certain assertions are not challenged, they become or they form the narrative. That did not happen. That meeting that it was reported never took place. The National Security Council is made up of not less than 20 or 25 people. They would tell you, somebody would tell you, yes, that is what happened. Remember the neutralization meeting in which it was said that Chris said they should kill Sisiko. Did you remember that meeting? Do you remember that meeting? The people who were there in that meeting said it never took place. I mean, that was never said. That's what I mean. So if something like kill them had been repeated or said in the so-called national security meeting that took place, somebody would have told you there was a meeting like that. Ladies and gentlemen, this is very important. This is the reason why we have to be very, very smart, very, very smart with what we take from so-called activists who have no interest, no love for this revolution in their hearts. We've got to be very, very careful. All right. So, I also like to... All right, I would like to go straight, ladies and gentlemen, into the... No, let me talk about this, the lockdown and the elections, before I go into the presentation, because that will come last. Now, I just want to remind all of you on ground zero, that elections, of course, not our elections, French Cameroon elections are coming up on February the 9th. Again, we cannot emphasize this enough. That election is not taking place. That election is not taking place in the territory that is called Ambazonia. Now, yesterday we saw some campaigns, CPDM campaigns here and there, especially in Fako, and I think there was there was Meme also. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to know again that you don't have to be worried about those campaigns. I am not saying that we should just let them go on campaigning. Absolutely not. But I don't want you to be worried, because some people are so jittery when they see those guys assemble. That is not the re-election. Even the form of elections alone are taking place in Bambili, in Kumba, in somewhere in Bamenda, and so on and so forth. Don't be worried about that. February the 9th is the D-Day. It is the day that reporters will go out. It is the day that observers will go out. It is the day that the international community is observing to see whether Ambazonians go out to vote. And so, ladies and gentlemen, the 9th, February the 9th, is the D-Day. And of course, beginning Friday, February the 7th, we have asked that all the mosques in all of Ambazonia be shut down just for that Friday. And then on Sunday, which is the election day, ladies and gentlemen, we have also asked that all the churches be shut down. Now, this is very, very important, because you do not want somebody coming around with a cell phone and taking shots in your church or in your mosque and sending to CRTV to broadcast as people line up or seated somewhere in Ambazonia to vote. We have to prevent La République du Cameroon from sending out any message, but that Ambazonia didn't go out to vote. That is very, very important. The mosques are shut down. Our borders will be shut down. The borders with French Cameroon and the borders with Nigeria, they shall be shut down. And every activity shall be grounded for lockdown. Again, lockdown beginning on the 6th. Lockdown starts on the 6th of February to the 11th. Only for 6 days. Ladies and gentlemen, only for 6 days. We want Ground Zero to be able to resume activities right after midnight on February 11. In other words, no elections, no February 11 in Ambazonia. We have gone past that. Those are some of our colonial past that we have dealt with, and we have moved on. Nothing like 11 February. After the 11th of February, that is midnight on the 11th of February, you are free, ladies and gentlemen, to go out and do business. All right, so that is lockdown. Again, beginning on the 6th, the borders will be shut down. Anybody who goes out on the streets beginning the 6th, you do so at your own risk. Do not say you have not been informed. Anybody whom we see on the street or the restoration forces find on the street shall be considered to be enablers of French Cameroon terrorist soldiers. Of course, you know they are disguising as the common man and walking the streets and going to beer parlors, nightclubs, pretending to be you and me. So please do not put yourself in harm's way trying to go out within the 6th and 11th to do anything. Stay at home. Get enough food. Get enough water. Get enough medication. Whatever you need within those 6 days, make sure between now and the 6th, you get it home. It is going to be hot. It is a referendum, ladies and gentlemen. It is a referendum on La République du Cameroon. And I shall be coming back to you to speak on that. So please, that is very, very important. Now I want to take you, I'd like to take you to the presentation proper. This is very, very, very critical. Very, very critical, ladies and gentlemen. This is a short presentation in which we, and when I say we, I am referring to the interim government, will bring to you the exact report, setting the record straight of what happened in Bui, the events that have taken place in Bui within the past 1 week. Fellow Ambazonians, events that have taken place in Bui recently, including the killing of General Chacha yesterday, as painful and heart-wrenching as they have been, have revealed to us the dimensions, the scope of the enemy we face in this struggle for independence. What we have learned following the initial invasion of Bui warriors on January the 19th, to the assassination of Field Marshal Chacha yesterday, is very, very revealing. We have learned that our enemy, La République du Cameroon, isn't planning and operating far away from us. They are operating from within us, After the initial incident of January 19, we heard the public cry, the public agitations, indignations, and disgust against what some describe as brotherly killing or brother killing brother, Ambazonian fighting Ambazonian. I come to you today to educate you on what is transpiring. I mean a trick that La République du Cameroon has long employed to use our own to kill our own. A trick which without the Bui incidents we would never have known. I will spare you the details and bring you only the lessons, ladies and gentlemen. What we have learned is that bad things will continue to happen during this pursuit of independence for our own country, for as long as bad people and bad leaders mingling among us and claiming to be stakeholders continue. I mean bad things like what happened in Bui in the last 1 week or so. They will continue to range our hearts, making us even questioning the raison d'etre behind our pursuit for our own free country. That is why they are doing so. But after they have come and gone, and after we have all wept, if anything, we should be asking ourselves, are there any revelations and lessons to learn from it? In the case of Bui, we found out that there are many such revelations and lessons we have to learn. Certain things that have been ongoing, but which we had no knowledge, no idea of. This is the timeline of what happened, including the revelations and lessons we have to learn. The timeline of Fima Chachacha's death is this. On Sunday, the 19th of January, the ADF sent a killer squad of 39 people, as they had promised in the many audio recordings now making the rounds in the social media, to assassinate General Chacha, whom they describe, and I quote, as an internal threat, end of quote. The Bui warriors, led by General Chacha himself, apprehended the 39, but released 16 of them, keeping only the masterminders who had traveled thousands of kilometers, ladies and gentlemen, into Bui County to carry out the operation. They, the 23 in number, were kept in custody pending complete investigations. The other 16 let go were all Bui indigents who had joined the mission without proper briefings or understanding of what the mission was all about. As the 23 were held for complete investigations, ADF surrogates, popularly known as activists, took to the social media, giving Field Marshal Chacha an ultimatum that lasted until yesterday, Sunday, the 26th of January, to the effect that if he didn't release those 23 still in custody, he, Chacha, was going to face the killer squad. While the interim government and Bui County representatives were quietly working in the background to end investigations on the 23 health and to release them subsequently, the ADF lived up to their promise and sent in their killer squad. But it will even shock you, ladies and gentlemen, that the more, when you come to find out who was in that killer squad, they were not Ambazonian fighters. The overwhelming majority were not Ambazonian fighters. Yesterday, Sunday, January the 26th, as Chacha had been promised death. The ADF ground coordinator in Bui, who originates from Kikaikalaki in Iso and goes by the name of Frederick Servisam. Now listen to this. Servisam is a high-ranking soldier in La République du Cameroon's army based in Yaoundé. He is in active service, but he commands the SDF. That Sunday morning, that is yesterday, being a son of the soil and trying not to be discovered or uncovered, he came along embedded with La République du Cameroon forces who penetrated General Chacha's camp late in the night and surrounded it. At 6:30 a.m., they launched their offensive, but all the warriors succeeded to maneuver them and retreated to safety. In their usual characteristic style, each time a target eluded them, they embarked on looting, burning of homes, and destruction of property in the entire village. From a distant location using binoculars, the warriors were able to identify the said Frederick Servisam, together with one other man who later that day was apprehended by the civilian population, and a jungle judgment passed on him right there accordingly. At exactly 12:30 p.m. yesterday, watching closely from his hideout, Field Marshal Chacha saw his family house and the entire village being burnt down by the forces. Being the soldier and warrior that he was, his instincts quickly kicked in. He left his hideout and headed to defend the village and the people. Unfortunately, he was shot by the said Frederick Servisam. The Cameroon army he was disarmed and then left to die. Not only was the entire village burned down, the Bui warriors camp that hosted all, including the 23 held for investigations, was burned to ashes. At this moment, we have every reason to believe that the soldiers took or freed the 23, with the exception of Efang, who was said to have escaped on the 19th. Ladies and gentlemen, yes, some of our forces have died in circumstances they ought not to. I mean dying from friendly fire. The incident in Gozang is a great reminder, that of Teke-2 and now Bui. 39 fighters went to Bui, led by a commander whom we thought was one of us. We have also all along thought that the 39 were our own people. Not the case. The 39 carried sophisticated machine guns, 17 of them in number. Of the 39, only 2 were brothers. 16 were let there. 16 were let go and 23 held by the warriors. The 23 carrying the sophisticated weapons had all come in from distances far away from Bui County. They have said that they were on transit to the border to pick up some supplies. That is not true. It wasn't the case. We have investigated, and we can now authoritatively tell you that their mission was to kill and to overtake the Bui warriors, General Chacha in particular. We have, in the aftermath of the incident, been inundated with audios after audios in which those we thought were brothers and comrades in this fight for independence, leaders of the ADF, gave specific instructions for the assassination of General Chacha. They fulfilled their mission yesterday. But what will surprise you the most is the fact that the 23 who remain in the warriors' custody, ladies and gentlemen, we have learned were made up largely of French Cameroon soldiers disguised as Ambazonian fighters. Efang wasn't the leader or the commander of that operation. It was a French Cameroon soldier, Frederick Servizem, an insult son, who was actually in charge of the operation. Some of the 17 machine guns seized from the men had La République du Cameroun tracking devices in them. But the warriors were smart, I should say smarter, and they quickly detected everything and took off the devices. We should not be fooled. The propaganda that Amba is killing Amba just wasn't the case in this Bui incident. What is a fact is that the ADF has a pact with La République du Cameroun. The pact gives La République du Cameroun a way of passage in which they disguise as restoration forces under the cover, the banner of the ADF to carry out major operations aimed at killing or taking out legitimate Ambazonian restoration forces and their camps with superior ammunition. But they come in disguise to look like regular restoration fighters, whereas they are actually French Cameroon soldiers. Like in Bui, they carry out these operations with a few ragtag ADF fighters just so they are given a cover. The reason why, you find only a few Den guns but more automatic rifles with them in Bui. We have also just gathered that majority of those held in the camp for investigations were actually French Cameroon soldiers, which leads no one to be surprised that they had to immediately come after that camp. Ladies and gentlemen, that is what took place in Bui. That is the narrative. That is what we have gathered. And at this moment, I have no further comment to make, but to take any question coming from you. We have spoken this morning. I received an audio presentation from the chairman, Pa Vincent Jumbam, who is supposed to be the chairman of the SCNC all the way from those days. I would like to play the message that he sent out here for you to listen. Stay put, listen to this message from Pa Vincent Jumbam. He sent out that message this morning. It was forwarded to me. It is not out there yet, and so I'd like you to listen to it. Hold on, please. Let me get this message playing.
At home and at the diaspora, to know that each of us must show his talent in serving the great nation and be ready to participate when called to patriotic duty. Chacha loved Bui. He loved all counties, and that is why he had a hand of collaboration with Ngoke Tunjia and Dongan Mantung Division, and even Boyo. He had very close collaboration with the Field Marshal of Libyalem. That is what is expected of a true Ambazonian. It is not only Chacha who showed Bui strength, rigor, moralization, and integrity, and great love for fatherland. Dr. Bernard Sokika Fonlong, of great memory, foresaw a rift in this unification business right back in 1960.
Sorry about that.
Who could be against Ahidjo mishandling the project of unification, except for none in his Abia will we make or mar. He once, in 1979, called for a Southern Cameroon's meeting in his house, and Ahidjo sent soldiers to surround his house. He was the only person to resign from being a minister in Ahidjo's reign because he saw things wrong and the way Southern Cameroonians were treated. That's how we people, the ardent ones, composed and comported themselves. The idea of a county came from Bui. SCNC welcomed it, and all collection and military preparations were done according to counties. Bui was always first to collect funds, to organize properly what the nation expected. Every leader would always state that example should be taken from Bui to institute units, cells, local government areas, and county. Bui was always first in everything else, and Bui was actually admonished and praised for its endeavor. What has happened? That Joe Ayaba, Mark Barreta, Tapong Ivo, and another one in China, Capo Daniel, should raise an army comprising boys from the southern and the northern zone to come to kill Shasha in Bui. And when they are held at bay, the cry comes out alarmingly, and they are the ones blaming Chris Anu and Sako for nothing. They joined hands to clap and amaze themselves for the fallen hero. You have killed him, but we will not fall. Let me tell you, if anybody could say anything about Bui, it should have been Akwanga, who came with me in Bui, and we toured all Bui, greeting the Fons, meeting chiefs, and acquainting himself with the Bui people because he knew what was going to happen, and that the chiefs and the Fons would be custodians of our tradition. He visited the Fonum So, the Fonum Oku, the Fonum Biame, Jochin, and Kara. That was back in 1996. Where was Joe Ayaba? Then that any national meeting we held
ladies and gentlemen, because calls keep on interrupting that audio presentation, I will make sure that you get it out there at the end or by the end of this broadcast. At this moment, the images you just saw on your screen, the fellow you see on your screen at this moment, this is Frederick. This is Frederick Severson, the French Cameroon army who leads the ADF operations in Bui. Again, this is the face you find on your screen. This is the French Cameroon army officer, high-ranking army officer who heads ADF operations in Bui. Again, his names are Frederick Severson. Those are, you can find the names on your screen. This is the French Cameroon army who is leading ADF operations in Bui. And as you heard me said in my presentation, the 39, the 23 who were left for questioning in Bui at the first attack. Now, he wasn't there, Frederick wasn't there, but he directed the operations. And among those captures, there were French Cameroon soldiers among those who were captured. French Cameroon soldiers among those who were captured. And Frederick was the one leading the operation. Efang, of course, they will want you to believe that the Collingwood General Efang also was the one leading the operation. Not at all. He was just there as a cover-up. This is the guy. Frederick Guy is the guy who led that operation in which the 23 were arrested and held up. So, ladies and gentlemen, having said that, at this moment, I am going to open the phone lines. I am going to open the phone lines so you can call in with any questions that you may have. And remember, you can only call. You can only call on WhatsApp. No other calls will be taken except on WhatsApp. So please, the phone line is open. If you have a question or an important comment, I will take it. And I'm going to take the calls for the next 30 minutes. All right, let me see if I can get the first caller, ground zero. Hello, sir.
Yeah, hello, Chris. Good evening.
Good evening, sir. May I know where you're calling from, please?
Yes, I'm calling from Meme County.
All right, thanks for calling. What is your question or your comment? And it has to be on the subject we are discussing, please.
Yes, I just want to find out if that Sufism is still alive or he was killed.
No, Sufism is still alive. He is a soldier in the Cameroon army who disguised as Amber and was leading the operation and as you have heard me said, he wasn't alone. There were other Cameroonian soldiers in that operation, and that is why we had those automatic weapons on them.
Okay.
All right, thanks for the call.
Okay. Now,
yes, right, go on.
Still, I want to find out, were there some military killed or yes?
I don't know what it. Yesterday, yes, I learned yesterday some military were killed. I don't know how many. That is what I can say. I learned that Chacha in the attack took down quite a number of them. I cannot tell how many, but yes, I learned some were killed. That was yesterday.
Okay.
Yesterday, Sunday. All right.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. All right. So, hello.
Hello.
Hello. Can you turn down the volume of your set and focus on the phone, please?
Okay.
All right. Tell us where you're coming from. I know you're calling from ground one, I guess.
Yeah, I'm calling from Nigeria.
All right. What is your question or your comment, sir?
Yeah, my comment is that I don't know why the ADF should team up against the restoration forces. What is their aim? Because if we are fighting for one goal, as they say, then why should they fight against the restoration forces? That is my concern, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the question. What is their concern? Their concern, the concern is that they are not fighting for us anymore, right? Ladies and gentlemen, right now, at this point, at this time, in this struggle, it is very, very clear. The ADF is not in this war for the independence of Ambazonia. We're going to talk that a different day. Let me get more callers. All right. Hello, sir.
Yeah, hello. Yeah, what I want to say is this infighting among Amazonians will not take us to where. We should stop all this fighting. You guys need to come together and work together, collaborate, forget all this hate speech that you
can you hold a second? Can you hold a second?
Yeah, we need to stop.
Hold on. Let me ask you a question. You are very, very correct. It is very, very important that we work together. But when you hear the narrative that I just put out there, which is exactly what happened, who do you blame for that?
Yeah, actually, what I'm going to say is
no. I like you to answer. I like you to answer the question I just posed to you. Who do you blame for that?
For me, I think it is because of the infighting.
No, you're not answering. You are not answering. You are not answering the question. When somebody that's supposed to be a leader in the revolution connived with a lot of political Cameroon soldiers to kill our own people, who do you blame for that?
No, how sure are you that he...
All right, we're not going to argue this. We're not going to argue this. I guess you are not following up on this presentation. Let me get the next caller. Hello. 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 Okay, that caller is, before I take the next question, let me make a little bit revelation to you here, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sure you listened to Cho Ayaba in an audio that you put out, I think today or was yesterday or so. Because many people out there are in the conception that the interim government is not reaching out enough for collaboration and for unity. The unfortunate thing is that we don't come out and announce the things that we do. You will recall that only 2 weeks ago, I was invited into a meeting that was supposed to be a collaboration or a collaborative meeting to build collaboration within Ambazonians. I went into that meeting and you know what the result was. I didn't announce that. We didn't announce that. Imagine if I didn't go into that meeting. They would say the IG is not collaborating, doesn't want to collaborate. But when I went into that meeting, you saw what happened. Now, what you also don't know is that I think it was about 3 weeks or 1 month ago, I picked up the phone and called Cho Ayaba. And I said, listen, we can work out whatever differences that we have in this revolution. Let's come together and fix it. And he confessed with his mouth that he said to me, Chris, listen, you and me, we can work this thing out. We can fix these divisions. And I said to him, would you like, let's start with you coming on ABC and let's have a discussion. Ayaba said to me, he was going to get back to me. We had a good conversation, ladies and gentlemen. He said he was going to come back to me with an answer and with his schedule. He sounded very excited about it. But again, it's more than a month today. I never heard back from him. But this is what we are doing in the background to bring people together. We don't have to go out and announce it. But when each time we extend a hand, they do this kind of things. What else can we do when you think that the interim government should be... Does the interim government have to go and kneel down and bow and clap to somebody and say, hey, come and work with us? Of course, that would not happen. We will keep on doing the right things. But the good thing is that God himself has begun to expose them. Let me take these other callers. All right. Hello. 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 All right, lost that caller. Hello, sir.
Hello, Mr. Chris.
Hello, good afternoon, sir. You are live on ABC. May I know where you're calling in from, please?
I'm calling from Ohio.
Thanks for the call. What is your question or contribution, sir?
Yes, my question is that we actually saw the videos of the ammunition, the guns that were displayed the other day.
Correct.
By the camp of Chacha. So now, can we have a video of this so-called La Republique and armies that were captured by the Chacha camp? Because I know obviously if they send you the video of the guns, they should send also a video of those guys. At least only to you, not to us.
Okay.
Can we have a video of some of them?
No, they didn't have any reason to send us videos of those they capture. I have never seen anywhere where they capture people for interrogation and put out audio. Some of the guys do that, but I think you have observed Chacha for a while that he was fighting. I never saw him put out videos of people that they capture, and we think it's not the wisest thing to do, especially when you have among them officers of the Cameroon army. Maybe they took photos, videos which they had in their keeping. Unfortunately, the camp has been burned down right now. I doubt if that can be uncovered, but that's what I can tell you. Hello. Okay, take it. Drop the call. Okay. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Good evening, sir.
Hello. Yeah, sir.
Can you lower the volume of your set and focus on your phone, please?
Yes, I will do so, sir.
All right, that is better.
Can
So
you hear me, sir?
that is better. What is your
Can you hear
question?
me? Yes, I have just a few questions to make, sir.
And where are you calling
First
from?
question, I am calling from Sweden, sir.
All right. What's your question?
Yeah, the first question is just an observation, but I'll come back to the second question. My question, when I came back this morning, and my gentleman showed me a video where Eric Tato was about to cry. I want to send this question through you because I don't have the means to get to Eric Tato. I want to ask Eric Tato, why is he shedding crocodile tears? Can he remember the video, the joint video he, Tapang Ivo, and Mark Barretta made and promised Chacha that he is going to die? That is my first observation.
Right.
That Chris, yes, Eric Tato should not be shedding crocodile tears. He has done too much for us, and as I'm talking to you, I am bleeding internally. I am shedding tears. That is the first question. That's my first observation. That this question should be passed to Eric Tato, and that you should not pretend because they plan for the death of Chacha.
I hope he is listening. I hope they are listening.
Yes, sir. And secondly, I was just about to know if any of our restoration forces in the Bui County were killed, apart from Field Marshal Chacha. That was just my concern, sir.
That is a good question, which I don't think, not yesterday, not that which I know. As far as I know, only Chacha was killed.
Thank you very much for that clarification, sir.
Thank you.
My heart is settled. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. All right. Let me get to. This is bad connection, I guess. Okay. Hello. Hello. I lost that. Hello.
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 Hello, Chris.
Hello, sir.
Chris?
Can you turn down the volume of your set, please, and focus on the phone?
Yeah, it is off. It is off.
All right. Where are you calling from?
Are you from Granzero, Bamenda?
All right. What's the question or the comment?
Granzero, Bamenda. A question.
All right.
And the question goes there. After the operation in Bui, in which the La Republic soldiers were apprehended, do you not have a strong room where you monitor operations happening in the field? And if so, why didn't you give advice to Chacha to switch camps? Because we saw on social media that he has called, Yabacho has called backup, La Republic backup. It was known. So what advice did you give Chacha? Didn't you advise him to move camps?
That
That's
is
my question.
all right. Thank you. That is a question that I will allow for the Bui Security Council to answer. Now you have to understand that every county, and even the LGA, they have their security councils, and when it comes to issues like that, they have an upper hand to the interim government. But I like you to know that Chacha was not in the main camp. Does that make sense to you?
Okay.
Yes, he wasn't in the main camp. But you know, they don't leave all, they don't go away. He wasn't sleeping in the main camp after that initial attack. He wasn't there. Does that make sense?
Okay, that's it.
All right.
That's it, Chris. We at Ground Zero will want to know what happened to Big Number, please. We want to know. If you have any information on Big Number, let us know, because we, the civilians, will want him. We will be contented if we have him dead.
Okay, as you heard, if you listen to my presentation, I stated that Efang escaped. Whether he is alive or dead, nobody has any better knowledge.
Okay, thank you. But when you do, let us know.
Thank
you
you
very much.
All right, thank you. Okay. Hello? Lost that caller? Hello? Can you turn down the volume of your set, please? Stay on your phone. Turn down the volume of your set.
Okay, Secretary Chris. Here is Celestine from Germany.
All right, thanks for the call. What is the question or the comment?
Yeah. Mr. Chris, I have just a short time, because I've been following you. The truth is, Ayabacho is a criminal. That is clear. We know this. It is not something we can go to search somewhere. He is a criminal, big-time criminal. But the problem now is, Mr. Chris, what is the way forward? What are you people really planning? Because every day you come and tell us the same story. Ayabacho is this. What is the way forward, my brother? What can we do to really take this game, change this game?
Thank you.
What are you guys thinking?
Thank you. Let me assure you, as I stated in my presentation, there were certain things we never knew. We never knew that it was French Cameroon, or it is French Cameroon soldiers fighting for the ADF and calling themselves ADF. Now we know. What we're going to do is not something I will sit on television and pass out, but you can expect that. Yeah, but you can expect that our National Security Council knows exactly what to do.
That is good, brother, because this Ayabacho and the gangs of Eric Tato, the gangs of Mark Barata and Tapang Ivor, believe me, bro, these guys are big-time thieves.
You don't have to be worried at all. Their intimidations would not intimidate anyone here. Of course, we are made out of iron and stone here. This interim government, and you can trust that we will go after everyone who wants to be a detractor, an enabler to this revolution. Thanks for calling.
Thank you, bro.
All right. Okay. Hello.
Hello.
Can you please turn down the volume of your set and focus on the phone?
Yes, sir. My set is off, sir.
But I could hear the echo.
I would like to say just two things.
All right. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Switzerland, sir.
All right. What is your comment, please?
At the look of things, our guess is just my guess that Ayaba is not the boss of the AGC. The real boss of the AGC would be another Atanganji in Yaoundé. They should, to me, there is somebody in the government who is really the boss of the AGC. Ayaba is just a figurehead. That's why whatever thing you call to talk to him or agree, it's useless because the boss will tell him he cannot do that or that is not allowed.
I think there's an iota of truth in that because I have heard that again and again and again. People of goodwill will call and talk to him. I will call and talk to him. He says, you know what, hold on, I'm coming back. He never shows up back.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. This is a game that we have to find a solution to it, sir. And my last point is, why don't we try to face this Ayaba here in the diaspora? I think we can do that because there is no European government who will allow a criminal in their country.
Well, those of you who live in Europe, that is your responsibility.
South Sudan, I don't believe so.
Ambazonia will never be a South Sudan. Thanks for the call. I lost that caller. Ambazonia, ladies and gentlemen, will never, ever be a South Sudan. Ignore all the propaganda out there with federalists and pessimists telling you, oh, if you get to Buea, they're going to kill themselves. Never. This thing, once we get to Buea, cannot continue. All right. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes, it's good.
Good evening, ma'am. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Ground Zero in Bamenda.
Okay, thanks for calling. What is your contribution?
Yes, I just want to say that what Ayabacho is doing is the film that we saw in Isakaba. He is really Isakaba. That he was a true fighter. He turned back to be Muke. So what Ibube did to Muke is exactly what they would do to Ayabacho before everything will be crippled.
What book is that? I don't think I ever read the book.
No, it's a film. It's a film.
Oh, it's a film. Okay.
Sakaba is a film. Yes, it's a film. It's really exactly what Yabacho is doing. Ibube he was fighting with Ibube. So
well, you know, this is what I really think. This is what I really think. I think right now we have our own Chief Buthelezi. In fact, somebody should put out a hashtag Chief Buthelezi. I think that is our own Chief Buthelezi of South Africa in this struggle.
Yeah, voila. So that's what I'm saying, that he really did what Muko did. So you know that if they want to kill you, it's only a person. So this Ayabacho of somebody, I don't know. But God will know what to do with Ayaba. Exactly what they did to Muko. Thank you. So you people should follow up.
Thank you. Thank you for the call. All right. Who is next? Ground Zero. Hello. Hello. Missed that caller? Hello. Hello.
Hello, Dr. Chris.
Hello, sir.
Yes, sir.
Where are you
calling from South Africa?
Oh, calling from South Africa. Good to hear your voice, sir. What is the question or the comment?
No, my own is just a contribution. What I'm suggesting is that now that the infighting is there, this come Ayaba is on the other side, Akwanga on the other side.
No, hold on. That idea that there is infighting is the wrong description, sir. Let's learn to call a spade a spade. I have done a presentation a few minutes ago, and I told all of you watching exactly what is going on, that one of us is using soldiers from the enemy's camp to fight us. And you call here to say infighting?
Yet my suggestion was that let's look for a different, if the problem of the Ayaba is you people, let's look for maybe Honorable Weber to lead us. Somebody that everybody will endorse to carry us.
So according to you, That is the only time Ayaba would walk away from LRC, correct? Hello? Okay, I lost that caller. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Hello. Yes, where are you calling from, please? Hello? Hello? That's a bad connection, ladies and gentlemen. All right, next caller. Hello?
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 Yes, can you hear me?
I can hear you, sir. May I know where you're calling in from, please?
Yes, I'm calling from Ground Zero. Faku, precisely, but I won't disclose my name.
That is absolutely fine, sir. What is your contribution?
So, as for the moment, we here on Ground Zero are monitoring the situation very, very carefully. We already know what is going on and who is manipulating some of the fighters on the ground and who are those giving the wrong information to the...
I don't know what happened. I lost that caller. I hope he calls back. Hello? Hello, can you turn down, please, turn down the volume of your set. And when you call, please, when you call, turn down the volume of your set and focus on your phone only. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, sir, where are you calling from?
Yes. I'm calling from Minnesota. And, hey, Chris, I don't want to get my identity known, but...
No, we don't need your identity. We just need to know your location. So what is your question, sir?
Minnesota.
All right.
It's not a question. I want to say that I was aware and I was quickly alert knowing what they were going to do, and I was going to give a quick call to those people to know that something is going on.
Oh, hold on. Did you say you were aware of what was going to happen in Bowie?
Yes. Yes. And so it has already happened. That is wrong. And whoever is saying they did not do it or they didn't do it, the thing is that, okay, as of now, as I've called, this will take another setting because this will be stopped in a different way. And so what has happened, it will not happen again. It will not repeat itself.
So if you knew it, why didn't you call one of us?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. As of now, henceforth, I will make sure that there is an alert that if I get anything, I will let you know. So I don't want anybody to know anything, but those who are arguing and saying, oh, it's not this, the truth is very clear. And this is not going to go for nothing. This is not going to go for nothing.
So you are confirming exactly the narrative that I put out today.
It's clean and clear. It's clean and clear.
Can you call me in the background after the broadcast and let me know what you knew, please?
Okay. I will be at work as from 2, so you.
Yeah, any time in the evening is okay. Even when you come out of work, that will be fine.
Okay, I will try to get a hold of you.
All right,
Thank
great.
you, and courageous. Be courageous in what you're doing. You're doing the right thing.
Thank you.
Nobody can, I thought. You're welcome, sir.
All right.
All right.
All right. So let me see. Ground Zero. Hello. Hello.
Hello, Secretary Chris.
Hello. Good evening, sir. May I know where you're calling in from?
I'm calling from Boya.
Calling from Boya. How was Ghost Town in Boya today?
Boya. Very, very effective, Pastor Chris.
Very, very effective.
I just want to appreciate you for the great work. I just want to appreciate you for the great work you are doing.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, I just have a comment, please. A comment to make.
Go on, please.
And this goes straight to our fighters on the ground. I remember you gave an alert when they were attacked by this group of ATF, and you told them that if they are unable, if they see the situation dangerous, let them withdraw and fight another day.
Correct.
And I think our fighters should be very wise to make their choices. An unfortunate incident to happen in Ngoketunjia, in Bambalang particularly, where the fighters were excited over a harvest they met from the west, and that led to the death of one of the brave fighters in the village of Bambalang, I was told. I think our fighters should know when to make their choices and to stay safe and to live to fight another day.
You are very correct.
Instead of, going and confronting a situation where they will lead to their death and we keep losing them every day. Please keep up with the good work. There are so many things that I've been trying to get to you. Remember, if you go look at my number very well, you might remember. I've been trying to get to you. Maybe when you have some other time, we'll be able to talk. Remember, I linked somebody to you who deserted from the La Republic military. And I was trying to see that I can give you some information so that you can work on that. And also, make things better. Yes.
All right. Thank
you very, very much.
Thank you.
Good work. Please don't be distracted by those who are trying to say, I did this, I did that. Continue. Ground Zero is with you.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. All right. I will take two more calls. And we'll call it a day. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, sir.
Yes, Secretary Cristiano. I'm calling from Canada. I want to say something about all the callers. Believe me or not, you guys are doing a great job. I don't want to call any names. You, Ayabacho, Secretary Chris, and whoever is working with you guys and the ADF. I will not want to say anybody is a terrorist or an enabler. You guys are from the same house and you are fighting for the same goal. All those who are calling you people to tell you that this person is a bad person, this one is a bad person, those are the enablers. Believe me or not, those are the enablers. Secondly, if you guys cannot put your heads together to fight the common enemy, put your heads together to fight the common enemy.
Hold on, sir. I think you oversimplify things when you say you guys, in spite of the truth that is being put out to you. Shouldn't you be calling some of these guys to order that this is wrong? It is absolutely out of order. When you say put your house to order, I just narrated here. Only 3 weeks ago, I picked the phone and I called Ayaba and said, "Hey, comrade, let's fix these things." He have it in his audio. I have been to collaborative meetings in which I was essentially ambushed. So when we are making this effort and they continue to act as enablers and detractors, what really do you expect from us?
Secretary, you guys are doing a good job, especially you. I will not lie. You guys, you are doing a good job, sir. Believe me or not, you are doing a great job. But all I'm trying to say, those who are calling to help you guys to point fingers to one another, they are not helping this situation at all. And
well, I think if we do not do that, my brother, if we do not do that and just keep on generalizing this thing, we end up talking to nobody. We know who the problem. We know who is the problem. We know what the problem is. It should be, that person should be figured out and shamed.
Okay. All right.
But listen. I understand you completely. I absolutely understand you. If we are dealing with people who are understanding enough to say, let's sit down on table and talk. It will be a whole different ballgame.
I wish they should sit down and really talk, sir. I really pray that you guys should do that. Okay, my last question is that you said when you guys arrive in Buea will not be like South Sudan. What things have you, or what measures are you taking to make sure that Buea will not be as South Sudan?
Buea cannot be a South Sudan, because when we get to Buea, we have attained our goal. And so if anybody thinks that he can fight in Buea, you can imagine that the weight of all Ambazonians and the international community would come upon that person. When we get to Buea, we are setting up a system that accommodates everybody. You want power, you want to rule, there will be a leveled platform where you go from your political party, contest elections. If you win, you rule, you lead. That's what we're talking about.
All right. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
And may God continue to bless you guys, and so open your eyes to see the right way, the right path.
Thank you,
so
sir.
much.
Thank you for the call. I appreciate it. All right. One last caller. One last caller before I go. Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, sir. May I know where you're calling from, please?
I'm calling from Bahrain.
Bahrain. That is United Arab Emirates, I guess, right?
Yeah.
So what is your contribution, sir?
I wanted to ask you, you said the guys that were captured were La Republic forces that were working as ADF forces and were kept.
Yeah, I said some of them. I said some of them, many of them. That is why you had those 17 automatic rifles, machine guns with them. Yes.
Okay, first you talk about the GPS. Those guys were talking about. We all saw the videos. Why is it that they didn't show us the GPS and all that? They said, yeah.
Do you understand what? Hold on. Do you understand what a GPS is?
All what those guys showed us.
No, I asked you a question. I asked you a question. Do you understand? Do you know what a GPS is?
Obviously, I know, and we were expecting them to show, but all what we saw were wrapped.
What I am trying to say, sir, is that a GPS is not the size of a bullet. It can be a tiny particle. So that is not necessary for the camera to grab it. I think I lost that caller. I lost that caller. I take this one last caller and I call it a day. Hello, sir.
Hi, Chris.
Hello, good evening, sir. May I know where you're calling in from, please?
I'm calling from Sweden. Good evening.
Good evening, sir. What is the question or the comment?
Yeah, I'm calling in regards what is happening in Buea. And I will first of all want to thank you for all what you're doing.
Thank you.
And my question is if when our leaders were being adopted from Nigeria and taken to Yaoundé, the late Council Barrister Frujon so applied for habeas corpus, and it was being granted him. And so why don't you, Chris, show proof of life of those being captured in Buea?
I should show. Did you listen to my presentation?
No, because it is simple.
No, hold on. Did you listen to my presentation?
I'm not done, sir.
You asked a question why I should not show proof on ABC, and I asked, did you listen to my presentation?
Yes, I did.
And what did I say?
Your presentation, you made mention of that, the fact that they are not supposed, there is an investigation going on, and whereas
I said there was. I said there was an investigation going on until the facility was attacked yesterday. yesterday Sunday by troops, La République du Cameroon troops. And so, we had not finished investigations while this attack yesterday took place.
Okay, the investigations are still going on, and so what are we
You are
showing
putting
later?
it in the present, sir. I'm putting it in the past tense.
Yes, okay, yes. But let me ask this again. What message are we passing to the international community in the sense?
Sir, you are not understanding the subject matter. There is nothing like the internet. If there is anything, the international community would have to go after those who burnt the place. Don't you understand that?
Okay, I'm saying so because there is one fighter from Mancon who is amongst those who were captured in Bui.
I have no idea who was from where, and if there was a fighter from Mancon in Bui, the next question will be, what was he doing there?
And so because I am still to come to that question.
So we're not going to prolong this. You were the last caller I took. We're not going to sit here and debating this. The answer is that the place was burnt down yesterday. Not only that place, almost the entire village was burnt down. And if any question should be asked, La République du Cameroon and perhaps the ADF should be asked those questions. That's all we can say. I have explained that they were held in custody and they were being questioned. One we found out, most of them were French Cameroon soldiers in that in detention. You realize I also stated that 16 were sent away. They were freed. But these particular ones were held after we found out they are most of them were French Cameroon soldiers and some from other parts of Ambazonia, as I just stated. That's the only reason they were held behind. They would have been free like others. Thank you for the call. Ladies and gentlemen, I cannot take it any further. I want to believe that you all have are cleared about what happened in Bui, and so going forward, we will allow the Bui County administrators handle whatever is left to handle. In the meantime, we will wait reports from French Cameroon or maybe the ADF. What happened to the 23? That is what we are looking forward to hearing from them. Of course, you have to know French Cameroon soldiers will not storm a place, burn it down, take photographs of their own soldiers and put it out there. And that they came to storm that place was very clear. They had their men there. They also had their guns there. I don't know how simple we can put it. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for tuning in. Let's remember lockdown. Let's remember lockdown starting on the 6th of February. 6th of February. Lockdown starting 6th of February. So please, ground zero. Let's get ready. Let's get ready for the lockdown. Once more, good night. God bless.
And if I don't live to see the day, you better believe it. I'll be there. This is my home, and I'm home to stay.
Freedom is coming tomorrow.
Get ready, mama, prepare for your freedom.
Freedom is coming tomorrow.
Get ready, mama, prepare for your
special for Amazonia this. I salute one and all. For this town where I bring am.